Now let's check out some magic moments covered by State Farm. And magic is what the month of March is all about. But has that magic run out? Last year, we had a clear separation at the top of the sport with those 4 top teams, the 4 number 1 seeds. They all made it to a Final Four for the first time since 2008. And it feels like we're kind of trending toward something similar this year. But has the concept of the Cinderella died? Jay Williams had some thoughts on First Take about it earlier this week.
You can't leave a team that's undefeated over 30 games in a regular season out of a field of 68. You can't do that.
Hear me on this one. Cinderellas are dead.
What?
Cinderellas are
Come
dead.
on, Jay. This is what the tournament is about. These kinds of. What do you want? A bubble team? Give me a bubble team. What's Auburn, like 16 and 14?
So you know what happens?
You'd rather see a bubble team? Like
no. I'm not saying, but I'm telling you where it's transitioning to. If you're a player who's averaging 18 on a Cinderella team, you know what I'm going to do if I'm the bottom of the ACC? Oh, I'll give you $600,000. Come on over here. Come on, play with me at Boston College. That's what's happening over and over and over again. So I don't think we're going to see the same amount of Cinderella runs as deep because all these guys are being picked off those teams.
Look, the concentration of talent at the top of the sport hasn't really taken away from the egalitarian nature of March Madness over the last couple of years. But now it's like the chickens have come home to roost a little bit, Joel. Do you agree with Jay Will that the idea of the Cinderella is at least changed from how we knew it in years past?
I see where he's coming from about being enticed, going to another school. If you're, you can go to the ACC, you can go to the Big 12 and be able to get a little bit more money and play on a higher level. But you know what? I know basketball. Some days you just have bad days. And you can run against one of these teams that are hot, trending up at the end of the season, and there's no telling. They could knock you off. So I see where he's coming from, but I don't think the Cinderella is dead. I want to keep it alive. That's what March Madness is about.
Is it good for college basketball, Myron?
I don't think it's good if you have fewer Cinderellas. Like, I love the idea of those teams coming in, having a chance to knock off a Power 4 team. But it is more rare because of the NIL. I know coaches at the mid-major level who say their pitch to recruits is stick with me for a year, I'll get you to a Power 4. That's how much the game has changed.
Yeah, and I think really this has not maybe less to do with there being less Cinderellas, and I think this really just makes the job of the mid-majors tougher.
Yeah,
right? Because, I mean, you're cycling talent. You mentioned, you might have a guy that, averages 14 points for you. A lower tier Power 4 team says, hey, here's this amount of money. We want you to either come start for us or sit on our bench or come off of our bench. I think that, Joel, to your point, the thing that doesn't change is when we get to the NCAA tournament and we get to March and that magic happens, you just got to be better than one team for not even a full 40 minutes.
Yep.
Right? And so I think that piece of it, it's going to feel a lot like the Cinderellas are going to be gone. But I think from that perspective, we're still going to see plenty of what we've seen in the past.
Yeah. I mean, look, it wasn't that long ago. Purdue lost to Fairleigh Dickinson. So, it's not like that was 50 years ago. It was a couple of years ago. So the theory of it is still there. And in the essence of this exercise, regardless of what Jay Will did to Cinderellas, we're going to pick some potential Cinderellas here in March. Myron, give me a Cinderella that you think can make a run this tournament.
Well, St. Louis is a team that is playing some really good basketball. The metrics are as good as any team in the country in terms of offensively, defensively. Robbie Avila, everybody knows the guy with the goggles, has gotten better. A bunch of guys who can score. And Josh Schertz is, to me, one of the best coaches in the country. There are going to be a lot of people that want to take him from St. Louis after this season because of the job that he has done. And I think if you look at St. Louis and you're an opposing Power 4, you don't want any parts of that team with the way that they can play when they're at their best.
Joel, you agree? You like St. Louis?
I agree. I'm on the same wave as you, man.
There you go.
That's what we're talking about here. I think they're great because you look at their metrics. They shoot the ball really well. I'm a high-tempo guy. I love tempo. I think tempo solves a lot of things. You just get up and down the floor. You make the game chaotic. That's what they do. And then they're a team, what they do best, they also guard it well as well. They guard the three-point line, but they also guard two-point percentage as well. So I think this is a team that no one wants to beat. And the best thing about them, they got 7 guys that average over 9 points. They're balanced, and it's hard to beat.
By the way, this might be a 2-bid league with some potential Cinderellas in it. Remember what VCU did a couple of years ago? Yeah, they're good again. And they may be another team that can make a run. Harry, give me a Cinderella that you like.
I was going to go with Belmont, and then they got the doors blown off them yesterday by Drake.
That's a wild tournament, by the way.
So
that whole thing is
extremely wild, which is why I am going to take the Missouri Valley Conference winner. It could be Drake. It could be UIC of all teams, Illinois State. has looked good in stretches. Bradley as well. Now, do they have the superstar talent that you would like to see? Like that, one of the reasons, if I'm with you guys, like St. Louis looks great. You got Robbie Avila. He's continued to get better and better and better. But if we're talking about March, we're talking about Magic, we're talking about getting hot at the right time, whoever comes out of the Valley, give me at least one win for that team in the tournament. Can they get lucky twice and get to the second weekend? I think it might be a little bit of a stretch, but I still wouldn't bet against it. We've seen magical runs year in and year out from the Missouri Valley Conference. Why not this year, especially when their own tournament is getting as stupid as it is?
Well, that's another conversation for a whole nother. The mid-major tournaments, some of these conference tournaments, 1 seeds are not protected. What's the incentive of winning your regular season, right? At that point. So that can save it for another day. The Cinderella that I went with is out of the West Coast Conference. I'm going with the St. Mary's Gales. Randy Bennett. They've done it before. Took them to a Sweet 16. Now, albeit that was back in 2010. This is a really good team, young, but 27-4. They're high in the net, 21st in the net. Joey Brackets has them as a 7 seed, so they'd be matched up with a 2 seed there, which is tough considering what we have at the top of the sport this year. But man, they've been knocking on getting to that second weekend for a little while, and I think that this is one of the teams that can do it. So a lot of potential Cinderellas out there. I think we've seen what we have seen at the top of the sport. They're not infallible, right? So I think we're going to see some upsets this year. It's not going to go chalk. I think we can guarantee that. Maybe we do end up with all the 1 seeds back in the Final Four, but I think we will have some upsets early on. Those are your Magic moments covered by State Farm.